Okay, guys, so what we want to talk about next is the 4 roadblocks which hold people back. So these are internal psychological roadblocks, not necessarily physical things, okay? So the first one is going to be limiting beliefs. And I suppose a limiting belief is any story we tell ourselves, okay, which isn't true, okay? Even though a lot of the times we've got false information to back up the story we're telling ourselves, it's not actually reality. So for a lot of people, when it comes to getting fitter, getting stronger, getting healthier, losing weight, they'll run these stories through their head, okay? They'll get into this loop. I can't do it. I don't deserve it. I'm doomed to stay this way. My family is overweight. No matter what I do, I just can't lose weight. It's too hard. I don't want to feel vulnerable. I don't have enough willpower. I'm too old to get started and get fitter and get healthier and get stronger. I'm afraid to try and fail, and very often this is again. Or they're afraid to try and fail, and then for their family or friends to say, listen, you're always failing. Another person could be, listen, I've tried everything before and it just doesn't work for me. So within these stories people are telling themselves, very often people get caught up in a situation where they're like, it's different for me than it is for everybody else. And the reality of it is, it's the exact same for everybody. So we've kind of got an inner world and an outer world here. In an inner world, this is a dialogue going on within our heads. So if I was to take one of these, I've tried everything before and nothing works for me. That's the thought that you have. And that thought is going to generate a certain feeling, okay? And for a lot of people, the feeling is, no matter what I try, I can't do it, okay? And they might feel ashamed, or they might feel like they're letting people down, or they're letting themselves down. But with that feeling, it's generally going to be negative in some way, shape, or form. Now, the outer result that a lot of people want when they come to see us is going to be, listen, I want to lose weight, I want to look better, I want to feel better, I want to have more energy, I want to have more confidence. But the internal world creates a situation where they don't take actions. So what happens is they get into a stage where there's inaction. So I think to myself, I've tried everything before and nothing works for me. So that's the story we're telling ourselves. Then the feeling that we get by that is, listen, what is the point? What is the point in even trying? Because every time I've tried before, I've failed. That leads to inaction, which leads to you staying the exact same. So the results are going to be zero. You don't get any results because we don't take any actions towards what we need to do. All right? So in this scenario, really what we've got is we've got 2 choices, okay? So choice number 1 is to keep that story that you've been telling yourself and keep playing that loop over and over again. And choice number 2 is to just drop the story. But the first bit of this process is going to be to realize, well, what are the false beliefs that you have about yourself, about weight loss, about fitness? So I'd like you to write down 3 false beliefs that you have about yourself. You can use the document down below this video. And then you want to say, after each one of those false beliefs, what's the payoff for holding on to this story or this belief? Okay? Now I'll go through an example now in a second. Once we've done that, we want to turn each of those statements around. And then again, we want to say to ourselves, what is the payoffs with the turnaround? So let me go through an example here. Let's say somebody says to themselves, I just can't lose weight. I've tried everything before, but I just can't lose weight. So that's the false belief number 1. Now the second bit is, what's the payoff for holding on to that story? You'll stay overweight, unhappy, and unhealthy. Okay? So that's the payoff. So obviously, that's a negative. We don't want that to happen. Now we've got to ask ourselves, all right, so the false belief, let's turn that false belief around. So in the turnaround statement taken, I just can't lose weight, it's going to be, I've just not had the right support yet. I can lose weight with support and coaching. And then we want to ask ourselves, what are the payoffs for us as an individual for losing weight? I'll have more energy, more confidence, more health, and feel great. Okay, guys, so download that document below and try and work through this. And again, for a lot of people, they genuinely have a roadblock within their head, which is, I just can't do it. And that's reinforced because they've failed numerous times in the past, and that stops them moving forward and taking the necessary action to get results. So guys, check out video 2 down below.